Hello, this is Jenna Cronin, Community Manager for the Sales Enablement topic at ATD, and I am here with Dana Williams, who has been heading up the programming strategy for our new Sales Enablement conference, SEL. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Jenna. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to talk through this a little bit more with you.
Yeah, really glad to have you here. So today, what we're going to be doing is talking about, like I said, ATD's first ever Sales Enablement specific conference, and we're going to give you the inside scoop for those that are considering attending. So let's start by talking about the big picture, Dana. When it comes to the SEL conference, what was the vision behind it in the first place?
Yeah, so as sales enablement professionals and those who support the field, there are quite a few options out there when it comes to sales education and networking opportunities. And so it was really important for us at ATD when we're putting together this first conference to not be another Me Too offering, but to really put together a compelling program strategy that plays really well to our strengths as a community of practice and meets the needs of the members in our community and the prospective members in the community, and even those who maybe just might join us as guests for this event. We wanted to put something together that was focused, that was driven towards an internal practitioner viewpoint, and one that would have a lot of energy and buzz, but really be focused in on a smaller, more intimate group. We're really talking anywhere between 100 and 150 people coming to the SEL conference. And that's a great opportunity to collectively mine insights from the speakers and the people around you, but also get to know people on a one-to-one basis. And we hear so often from people who come to our other events and conferences that really there's no substitution for being able to meet somebody new, somebody who is doing the same job that you're doing in another organization and can share with you some lessons learned, or where you can share some helpful information to help them get through, some challenges or obstacles that they're facing. When we put this conference together, the programming strategy, we wanted to focus in on sales enablement, learning, and leadership, hence our acronym SEL. So if you're somebody who is a sales enablement leader, director, manager, if you are a key individual contributor like a sales trainer or a sales coach, regardless of whether or not you report formally up into the sales enablement chain, or maybe if you sit in a corporate L&D type of role, but one of your internal customers is in fact a salesperson or a sales manager, this is the conference for you. Our day one is going to be action-packed. We have a keynote speaker, Adam H. Michaels, who's a former AFLAC sales director. He had 5,000 sellers that reported up through his organization, both 1099s and W-2s. And Adam brings just this high energy and exciting vision around what it takes to create a high-functioning culture when it comes to your sales enablement environment and team. And so he's going to kick the day off with a bang. And from there on day one, we're going to go into two tracks. We're going to go into the leadership track and the learning track. And each one of those tracks offers an hour-long breakout. And you'll be able to explore a number of topics that were curated by internal practitioners, and in many cases are being delivered by those internal practitioners. In some cases, we are bringing in some thought leader vendor partners, but these folks have also been handpicked because of their distinct subject matter expert in the area that they'll be presenting. And so if day one isn't exciting enough, then day two, we are going to kick the morning off with a sunrise panel where a group of experts are going to talk through just some really interesting ideas and lessons learned as it relates to the work they're doing in their sales enablement practice. And then we're going to go into two parallel boot camp workshops. So the first option for you is if you are in a mature sales enablement organization and you're about taking your game to the next level, this application workshop is for you. You're going to be able to facilitate it through a number of thought exercises and activities and be able to apply the lessons that you learned the day before to your practice so that you can finish 2018 well and start off 2019 with a bang. So that's the first track. And secondly, if you are someone who is in a less mature sales enablement practice, or maybe you're in an organization that hasn't formally defined it, but these sales enablement activities are happening nonetheless and they're doing so informally, there's a track for you. You too can walk away with having a defined plan to finish out the year strong and to start 2019 well. So as an overview, Jenna, that's the program strategy. It's something that we put together based on ATD's best practices in putting conferences together, but also after having extensive conversations with our members and prospective members in our sales enablement community to put something together that they would find to be valuable.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Dana, for that detail. And I think two things I want to point out from what you just shared. One being the fact that this is really a practitioner-led event, and that focus is going to allow the attendees to learn from each other in that more intimate format. That's the second piece. So when we think about what the attendees could take away from this conference, what kind of value they would bring back, there are a couple things that come to mind for me. I think we are looking at being able to connect with people, to take away strategies, and to have tools that each of the attendees can take back and to apply to their unique situations. People, they're able to connect with other practitioners that have been in their shoes, that have been doing the same things that they have or face the same challenges. Strategies, Dana, you talked about that great boot camp format, really a tactical level of application that they're able to return to their company and be able to execute on immediately. And tools, we're producing a deliverable that everyone can take home with them and be able to begin to expand what they've been thinking about and working on for the 2 days of the conference through a distinct set of tools. So Dana, do you want to talk a little bit more about the digital toolkit that everybody will be receiving?
Absolutely. So one of the other value-added elements that we wanted to package up and provide to the attendees for the conference is this digital toolkit. And what we've essentially done is worked with each one of our breakout session speakers as well as our small group of vendor partners. And we have put together an executive summary for each of the sessions at Sell and done so in a uniform, consistent way so that as a member, as an attendee who gets this resource, sometimes there are sessions happening that you have to make, at the same time where you have to make a choice. Now you have a takeaway with this digital toolkit that's a resource for you after the conference that has all of the executive summaries, courtesy of our speakers, and educational insights and nuggets carefully selected and packaged by our vendor partners so that you can have it as a refresher after the conference, but then you can also go back and share it with your team members who potentially were not able to come to the conference so that you can push out that learning beyond yourself and have people start to get excited about and participate in collaboration around those ideas. So that digital toolkit is something that we have started to assemble, and then we're going to have authors on site at the conference to take in some of those intangible nuggets that are coming out and make sure that that's layered in as well. And so attendees will get that approximately 2.5 weeks after the session. And it'll be a great keepsake and something that they can use, again, to share with their team. So when we think about the conference, as well as not just the format and the tools and the takeaways, as I just described, something else that really is exciting to us is the fact that we're having it in New Orleans this year. And it's undeniable that, that town is so full of buzz and excitement, and it's very colorful. And so we have some great activities planned. And so I'm just curious, Jenna, what are you most looking forward to when it comes to having the conference in New Orleans?
Well, Dana, you've heard me talk about this before, but maybe our listeners haven't heard that New Orleans is New York Times' #1 place to visit in 2018. So aside from all the scenery and beauty to take in, I'm excited about our networking reception, which is going to be out on the town. I mean, I think New Orleans is a very inspirational place for all of the different ideas and cultures and people that come together. So you could say that really reflects a lot of sales enablement departments. And so it's certainly a great place to be able to take in and be inspired and go back and be able to share that with your colleagues. So for all the reasons that we just heard, we expect this event to have a wait list. There's already been a tremendous amount of interest that we've seen so far. And for some of the ideas that Dana shared around the practitioner-led event, the intimate nature, we really expect this to be quite popular. So we encourage you to, if you're thinking about attending, reach out to us or register for the conference right now. Keep an eye out for more valuable content that's going to be coming through that supports what the speakers are going to be talking about in their sessions. And you can always go to sell.td.org for more information about the conference, how to convince your boss, perhaps, that you should be going to this conference, and things like travel and agendas. So thanks for listening to us today. We look forward to seeing you there. Bye now.
Bye-bye.